Go ahead. I don't know what you're doing.
It's your channel. Hello, everybody. We have Donald Wells here with us, and we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A, and we just want to say thank you very much to Don for doing this. Mm-hmm. This isn't going to be a crucifixion. We're just looking for some answers and setting some things straight. So,
letting him have his voice unmanipulated by anybody's personal gains and media and all of that, and being joined by Tracy with Tracing the Truth also.
Yeah, and there's no angle here. We're just having a conversation, and we're going to let Don say what he needs to say. And
yeah, I do want to say, though, as this is going on, there's going to be an open chat, and any kind of disrespect, people are just going to be blocked immediately. This will be a platform where they can come to and feel like they have a safe place and not get attacked. So anyone doing that to Don or Candus, it's just going to be a blocking situation immediately. So I'm just giving you that warning. It's not going to happen here. So Don, we're going to get into then about you talking about the environment of where your house is, all the drug dealers living around there and everything, and just answer that and talk about it however you want to.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there is a lot of drug issues of people, that are searching for meth or pills or whatever. But, like the other morning, I posted some pictures, of that red truck, that started at 3 a.m. and they're out there raising Cain, at 3 a.m. But so we don't know, and we've had stuff come up missing, and people are in and out of there all the time. And I didn't really realize how rough it was there, till something disappeared. But, yeah, there's a lot going on around there.
yeah, it's not something you really think about until all of a sudden you're paying attention to it, I guess.
I think his phone went muted and he doesn't realize that something happened there. Maybe a call came in. Sometimes that'll knock me off of mine as well.
Yeah, maybe do you want to go back in the church, Don?
Okay.
Do you want to go back in the church? Yeah, I bet it's the Wi-Fi cutting out on you since you went outside. We'll just have to deal with the sounds.
It wasn't that bad. It was mostly our mic was feeding through his phone.
Yeah, as soon as you muted yourself and he was talking, it sounded great, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear us now, Don?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know why.
Okay, that's okay. When you get a phone call, when you're on this, the way that we're recording this, when you get a phone call, it really messes with everything.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Let's just start from the beginning there again and tell us about your, tell us about your environment, all of the drug dealers that live by you and that.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of people that come around, constantly, day and night, all hours of the night, looking for pills or whatever, meth, I don't know, but yeah, we see that a lot. Like the picture I posted of the little red truck, he got stuck there at 3 a.m. and they're yelling and screaming since 3 that morning. So when I went to work that morning, that's the first thing I was dealing with. And then until the police showed up, but yeah, that's pretty common in that area. A lot of rough characters around there, for sure.
Yeah, that sounds pretty.
Since you bring up the red truck, how did that tip come into play? Was that you that brought that up because you saw the red truck, or did somebody else bring that into play and tell you guys there was a red truck, or how exactly did the red truck come into the picture?
When I was leaving for work that morning, there was a guy at the bottom of my driveway wanting me to full start his four-wheeler. And then the police showed up, and he asked if I could go ahead and pull it over to his truck. So, and the policeman said, "Yeah, Mr. Wells, just pull it over there," and so I did. And when we got there, I seen the truck on the bank of the ditch there, high centered, and I asked the officers, "Can I take some pictures?" He said, "No problem, Mr. Wells, go ahead." And he started asking him for paperwork. And when I went to the side of the truck to take a picture, there was some woman stuck her head out. There was a woman in that truck, and she looked like she ain't combed her hair for like 2 months. I don't know, but she just laid back down in there and covered up. But that kind of stuff is constant in our area, and you know, all kind of stuff going on. You know, I think meth is becoming what it always has been, but it's getting worse. I guess it's a serious problem. I guess it is everywhere, but yeah.
And that was the morning?
Well, sir, I didn't.
Sorry, that was that morning you left for work that happened with the four-wheeler and that?
Yes.
So the police were there June 15th, early in the morning then as well.
Yeah, they just showed up because somebody else had called the law.
Wow. Well, you already know what I'm thinking, but we can't say it on this, so wow. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, just for funsies and to give the people a laugh, were you hiding in that shed when Chris did the interview with his wife? Or with your wife?
No, I was actually at work, and that's one of the things that made me mad when he commented something like that. I mean, knowing that all these people are watching his show, and you know, we let him come up there to our house, and he's going to do us like that. Man, I just thought that was real unprofessional. It really upset me.
Definitely, understandably, because when you put your trust in someone, and then they turn around and try and paint you as the bad guy, and it seems like it's doing that just for views too. I don't understand why he's going after you specifically so hard, but yeah, I'm not him, so I don't know why he's doing that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of speculation, and there's a lot of people talking to him, you know, and it's unbelievable how Facebook, you know, how it is. Anyway, yeah, it's bad.
Dawn, can you tell us if they verified that you were at work that day? Do you know if they've spoken to your boss?
I don't know exactly what they verified, but, you know, my boss, you know, Richard Tucker, he knows. He talked to me that day. I also talked to Jamie Killian. He was there. I talked to him for 30, 40 minutes after, you know, that day too. But trying to remember, but I think I talked to Richard about 30 minutes before I got the phone call, and then I had to load my tools up and head to the house as fast as I could. So, yeah. But I think they could tell. I was driving a Subaru that day, so I think they could tell by that too, because it's a brand new Subaru. I don't know.
Yeah, they should be able to track everything that happened that day. I think that's why there was a big issue when you said you thought it could have been 5:30. Can you clarify the 5:30? Is that when you thought Candus called you, or is that when you thought you got home?
Well, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember exactly, you know, but until TBI reminded me, you know, that it was 6:30 when we called, because that's what the 911 said. It was 6:30 exactly. And also my wife, I guess she looked on her messenger and was able to verify that too. You know, around the time that she called 911 was 6:30. So yeah, I don't know why I was thinking 5:30, but I guess I was just wrong in that, you know.
Well, messing up the time by an hour, I mean, that happens all the time. That's like, but people are just trying to pick everything apart. And as far as you being like verifying you were at work, I'm sure the police have done that, and people saying that they couldn't verify that just seems weird to me, because all the people you talk to and everything. I mean, if the police had just talked to them, they'd say yeah, which they probably did. Like, it's probably just all rumors and speculations.
Yeah, because law enforcement, I checked again today, they say, yes, everybody is a suspect, but they said that everything that we have all come up with on social media, that they have already looked into those. There is no person of interest, okay? I feel like I should repeat that even. There is no persons of interest.
Yeah.
As simple as that. So incriminating Dawn, I'm not sure what people are trying to do.
Mm. They just need a villain.
Yeah, and to say that you were hiding in the shed and then point out into the past.
Oh yeah, because you hid from the police
because you
once.
had a warrant. Well, guess what? When he interviewed Candus, you are not a wanted man. You have no warrants out. You have no reason to hide on your own property. So
yeah, that was just ridiculous.
Ridiculous. He was trying to talk about the whole knee situation and who got hurt the night in October when the Jose guy was there, whatever the situation was. Can you tell us a little bit again? Sorry you have to repeat this again, but can you tell us about that night and what happened that night with that Jose and whose knee got hurt?
Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Candus wanted me home. So she made up the story that she had moved the guy in, and she didn't say anything about him or anything else. She just let me speculate that she'd moved the guy in, So, of course, I flew across the country as fast as my little truck would take me. And, I got there, and the first day, everything's okay, but the second day we decided to have a few drinks, and stuff, and things started to get heated. And Jose, his wife had messed around on him, I guess. And he was kind of taking it out on me with questions and stuff or whatever. But I told him, me and Candus have had our problems, and we've worked through that and worked it out. And, but she thought that I was in Utah. I was at a party, and I told her on the phone that I'm at a party. We're getting something to eat. Me and my son, we got to get going. We got to get home and get in bed because I had to go all the way to Park City that next day. But what she heard was that I was at a party and I don't want to talk to you, so bye. It's kind of the way she took it, but that wasn't the case at all because I wasn't doing anything but just getting some food and going home to sleep so I could go to work. But that's not the way she took it. But so that was a miscommunication right there, and we didn't know that till after, But anyway, let me go back to the story. But so me and Jose is getting into it, and he's calling me names and stuff. But every time he'd call me a name or say something about me, Candus would push me. So this went on for quite a while. Candus pushing me and pushing me and pushing me, and he'd say something and she'd push me. And finally, I tried to push her out of the way, and I was gonna hit Jose. But at the last minute, I decided not to. But I guess when I pushed her, she went down and scraped her knee a little bit. So she went, straight away because her feelings are hurt. So he went straight away and called the cops. And that's how the police got involved. And then Jose told the police that I chipped his tooth and on and on. And then they told him about the powder gun I had in my glove box because I keep that gun in there for the safety of my kids. I felt that was important because I knew it was somewhat dangerous around my house, but I had no idea how dangerous it was, But anyway, she went to the judge and she was crying in the courtroom. So the judge called her in his chambers, and she told him she made a huge mistake and she just wants me out. And so the judge let me out. He OR'd me actually with gun charges, and I thought, because I was facing some serious charges, but he OR'd me. And so, we worked it out and everything. And I pled out to a misdemeanor charge, and me and Candus worked everything out. And when we got to talking back to where I was, there was miscommunication. She thought I was partying. No, I was just trying to get ready to go. I was at my sister's party, but I wasn't partying, you know. So it was a misunderstanding, but we worked it out and we forgive each other, and you know, and that was that, you know, pretty much.
So at any time, did you ever put your hands on push out of the way, move out of the way, grandma?
No, she was outside. I'm gonna try to get this. I broke my camera. I apologize. That might be a little bit.
It's fine on our end anyway.
Okay. No, she was outside by her trailer. I mean, I think she was standing in the doorway maybe, but I wasn't focused on her. But no, I never touched her. No way. And I would never hurt. I wasn't intending to hurt Candus either. I was just trying to get her basically off of me because I wanted to hurt Jose, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, as a guy, I can definitely understand that. You want the woman out of the way because you're thinking you're about to start fighting this guy. I mean, it's always get the women out of there because somebody's going to get hurt.
Did you ever see Jose again after that?
no, because that night that I went to jail, and this is one thing I respect Candus's mother for, she told him to load his stuff up right now. He is out of there, and she took him to North Carolina.
Can I ask you, why was Allie staying at your house for an extended period of time when she doesn't live that far away from you guys? And can you explain, were your wife and her in a tiff? Because it seems to me like you knew nothing about that. So can we get into that also? Right,
yeah. So when I left for Utah, I was, I had a good job down there, and I was wanting to move my family down there. And so I guess when she went to Wisconsin or wherever she goes, I can't remember where her mother went, but to help her sister, I think it's Illinois actually, and help her sister for a couple of weeks. And when they come back, Allie and them got together and they wanted to stay there for a while, and I don't know, do whatever women do, I guess.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah, and the kids all together, and the other two girls that they have there, and Summer liked, them girls and everything. But so I guess I don't know how this Jose got involved or how he ended up there. He come from New York, and so I guess some people dumped him off after they used him up for his money. I don't know, but I have no idea. But it don't sound good, I know that. But I mean, that's all I know.
Okay, now everyone wants to know the lie detector tests. Who took the lie detector tests? Who passed them?
Yeah, at first Candus couldn't take the lie detector test, and neither could I, because we hadn't slept in days. And they wanted us to take lie detectors, so you have to be real calm and everything. And they wait like 25 seconds in between questions. So when they ask one question in 20 seconds, you're going to be falling asleep. You got to be perfectly still and everything. So me and her, either one could even take a lie detector test. So I went back the next day, took the lie detector test, and I was told that I passed. And Candus, her nerves were so shot and everything that she couldn't take a lie detector test. They had to wait like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, have her come back on a Monday or maybe even a Tuesday to take her lie detector test, and she took it and finally and passed. And we never failed a lie detector test. We just couldn't take a lie detector test.
Did Grandma take one too?
Yes, and she passed also.
Can I ask how long after was, when did they ask for the lie detector test? How long after Summer went missing did they ask you to do this?
Immediately on me and Candus, yes. But
so,
I mean, I think they waited 3 or 4 days maybe, because I know we didn't sleep for the first 2 or 3 days. We couldn't sleep. That's impossible. But so yeah, when they finally got us calmed down and sitting still in that chair, you're gonna doze off, so it was impossible to take the test. But I took it the next day and passed. She waited, I think, 3 days and took hers and passed.
I think that's understandable.
Yeah, like no parent is going to be all calm and well rested after something like this happens, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to June 15th. You're at work. You get that call from Candus. From the best of your knowledge, what time was that, and how did that go from that call? Do you remember what she said? And kind of let's go on from there a little bit.
Okay, so she calls me, and I can hear the fear and anxiety in her voice. She's terrified. And so I'm thinking, well, she's probably just around the house. That was my first thought. But I told her, well, hang up from me. I'm thinking in my mind, dude, I told her, just call 911 just in case. So
what did she say to you? I can't find her, or?
Yes, I've looked everywhere. I've looked everywhere. I can't find her. She's not here. And I said, well, hang up and call 911. And so she hung up. I threw all my tools in the back of that Subaru, and as soon as I got in the car and started down the road, I called 911, and they transferred me to Hawkins County, I guess. And I told them what the situation, that our little girl's not there. And then after that, I got back on Messenger and called her and talked to her through the whole trip. I think it was 30 minutes. I'm not sure, but like 30 minutes, I was able to talk to her on Messenger all the way there. And she was in her mother's truck, driving everywhere, looking for her frantically around our house. So when I get there, I'm still on Messenger with her, and she's still not found 30 minutes later. So I drove directly to the bottom property and down all the way down to the creek. And I see my 3 boys together down by the creek over on this side. And then on the left of me is my neighbor walking around, and my heart sunk right then and there. And I knew she was gone. I knew something happened. I knew something, something. So I drove back out of there and went to the top of the house, and there wasn't no police there yet. I don't believe. There might have been a car too. I just can't remember for sure because everything just, happens. I don't know, but there might have been a cop or two there. I just cannot remember, but it seems like there might have been. But after that, all these trucks and trailers with 4-wheelers and stuff started pouring in, and police, and they actually blocked or bottlenecked Beach Creek and Ben Hill Road. We couldn't get out or in or nothing. It was a nightmare. They just kept asking us all kind of questions. They looked at our phones for the timeline right then and there to see. It might have been the next day, I'm not sure, but they looked at our phones, and he got the 911 calls and all that and wrote all that stuff down. And that's about it. I asked them if I could go look in my car or whatever, and I tried to leave, and I couldn't even get my car out of the driveway. It was just blocked in. But I think the next day, I'm not sure. I can't. It seems so. I don't know. I don't know, but I finally convinced him that I got out and went talked to, or I shouldn't say his name, but I talked to him about people he might have known, seen coming in and out and stuff like that. But he'd been moving cars all day, so I don't know. I mean, it was hard to. It was bottlenecked, so couldn't do nothing.
Okay, people are wondering, why did you choose to drive the Subaru that day? Why not your work truck?
Oh, because the Subaru, since the boys have been out of school and everything, I was just sitting there, and I'm paying quite a bit of money for it. And I thought, well, I might as well get some use out of it. I'm wearing out my truck, but I'm pretty hard on vehicles, so I decided just to drive it for a while. That's all. Put some miles on it because it was just sitting there, really.
Yeah, why not go to work in a nice vehicle?
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, my boss commented the day that my boss commented that day that Summer went missing, just before I got that phone call. He was making fun of me. He says, "That's a hell of a car to be putting a bunch of damn drywall tools in." You know, he was just giving me a hard time. You know, that's how he knows where I was, you know, right, because of that.
Yeah. Oh, and one real quick question because of the vehicle thing. Grandma's car, Candus's mom's truck there, did it have a topper on it?
Yeah, it's got a topper on it, yes.
Okay.
So
I heard both, so I just want to make sure.
is there a red tote or something in the back of the car, or what?
I was looking at that picture earlier today because somebody commented on that, and I believe that is a red tote or something. Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I think I might have got that wrong. When I was looking at it, I thought you could see the back of the tailgate, and then whatever that red thing was like outside the truck. Like I thought it was maybe like a vehicle that was parked kind of sideways behind them, but I didn't know for sure.
I didn't either. I tried to pull it up, zoom it in, and I couldn't really tell, to be honest with you.
No.
So people are then questioning why, when you got home at 6:30 or whatever time, so if you called 911 at about 6:29, were you already on your way home, or how long did it take you to get home after calling 911, do you think?
I'm not sure, because I talked to her that she had that messenger call, but I was passing traffic, double yellow line. I almost lost it in a curve. I was going as fast as I could possibly go. I was speeding like crazy. You know, I'm really not sure, but I know it's a 45-minute drive normally. So I don't, you know, I probably made it in 30, I'd say.
And you were pulled over, weren't you, on your way?
No.
Okay.
No.
I thought I heard that. Okay.
That was the Utah drive.
Oh.
Oh. What was that?
I said that was the Utah drive. When you were driving too fast, you got pulled over then, not when you were driving home to get to Candus.
Yes. Yeah, I was in Kansas, and there was nothing out there. You know, I was in Kansas just flying, and because I was thinking, you know, Jose and Candus got something going on there. So I'm flying home, and that cop was just right behind me. I don't know where he come from, but boy, he snuck up on me good. He got me, but I told him what was going on, and so he gave me a big break and let me go. He gave me a ticket, but not as big as a ticket as I was going. So I'm sure thankful to him, because it could have been pretty bad. But,
Okay. So now another big thing is people are saying, so when you did arrive there finally, why did you not go up to the driveway first? Why did you stop at the shed first? Did you go in the shed, not go in the shed? Or just why did you not go directly to the house and talk to Candus right away? Explain that.
Okay. The reason I went to the bottom property first is because I knew that they were looking all over around the house and in that area and everything. So I figured, you know, by the time I got home, the best place that I could go would be directly down to that creek. I didn't even stop at the shed. I went by it, but I went down that steep bank all the way down into the creek with that little Subaru. And when I seen my boys and I seen my neighbor, that's when my heart just sunk right there. I just knew something was really wrong, you know. So that was the beginning of this pit in my stomach that hasn't went away yet, and it's not going to, I don't believe. But so then I turned around, went back up that bank, and I might have looked in the shed at that time. I can't remember for sure, but I know I looked in the shed at some point. But I went back up to the top, and I do believe there might have been a cop car or two there at that time, but I'm not sure. I can't be positive on that, 'cause I'm just so mixed up and everything at that time.
Well, that's
One thing you
understandable.
I'm sorry. One
ahead,
thing you
Tracy.
seemed always super sure of, Dawn, was that she would never leave the property. She just wouldn't do it. And you guys reference her swing a lot. Why do you reference the swing? Was that like a boundary area for her? Did you guys say don't go past your swing? Or why was Candus mentioned it a few times too? She would never leave past her swing.
Well, she would go. She may not have. I mean, I've seen her go to the edge of the property. I mean, not to the edge of the property, but to the edge of the lawn. But only like if the boys were down there, or something. Like the boys went down the creek one day together, and she went halfway down the hill, but she wouldn't go all the way. I mean, she was very leery. We tried to tell her or teach her to be very leery because we do have some wild bears. There's been a lot of bears spotted, and we know there are creeps around there, but we just never thought that one would, lay in wait and try to grab her like what has happened. But, especially midday, not midday, but it's daytime, I don't know. But I've tried several times. I've snuck up. She'd be behind the vehicle just sitting there playing. And so I'd sneak up behind her or on the other side of the truck, and I'd sneak up on her and I'd scare her.
Uh-oh, your sound went out again.
Sorry, Don.
You're going to have to message him again. Oh, poor guy.
StreamYard is kind of hard on phones. Some phones that they just don't like it. I don't know what it is.
It's really bad on my phone. It's awful.
Yeah.
I get kicked out of my own StreamYard on phone, so I don't bother using it.
That's what started happening on mine. Like I just
really
in the middle of a live, everything's fine. All of a sudden, poof.
So
I heard the Melon app is really good.
What are you thinking so far?
My heart's breaking for the guy.
Yeah.
I feel really bad.
He seems very.
He just seems broken.
He does.
It's just their lives are ruined. Their lives are ruined.
Yeah.
I mean, why would he come on with 3 strange people and try and tell this story again after everything that's gone on with YouTubers and social media? Yet again, he's sitting down to do this. We can't give him immunity. We can't give him true help. And here he is again, trying to do it.
Yeah, just trying to get the truth out there. And he's back.
Hello again. Sorry.
Can you?
You're doing really good, by the way, and I just want to thank you again for doing this because we were just discussing it, how much you've already been just
getting shit hammered by everybody.
Yes, by everybody else. So thank you again for doing this. I think you're doing great. So
Thank you.
But I really do want to hear the story that he was going to tell us about jumping out at Summer.
Yeah, can you go back to there again?
Silent.
Yeah, there's been many, we tried to teach her not, that there's wild animals and other things. We just, I don't want to, sorry.
It's okay.
We call them meth heads, meth monsters, whatever, so we knew that was it, but I probably shouldn't say that because people will tear that apart. And, sorry. But yeah, bears, and I've snuck up behind her. She'd be behind the vehicle, just sitting there playing or whatever, but I'd sneak up and I'd scare the daylights out of her, trying to teach her, that, and yeah.
Don, what's your best memory thinking right now of you and Summer? Off the top of your head, the best memory you have of her?
Well, just before this happened, she would always want me to hold her hand where she could twirl, and she'd sit there and twirl and twirl and twirl, and until my arm got tired. I'm like, man, Summer, come on, I'm getting tired. I've just been working all day, and one day she come running in. She was running, and she come running in, and I just put my hand on her back and on her chest, and I felt her heart beating. And I'm like, man, Summer, your heart's beating so fast, And she just always had that smile and just, oh my gosh. Just, I mean, I was always at work, constantly working so that, they could have a life. We never got assistance, food stamps or whatever, or anything. So I was always working, constantly. But but any time that me and her went anywhere together, she was my pride and joy right there. Everybody, I miss her so much. Oh my gosh.
I can't even imagine.
No, me either. Me either. Do you regret working so much, Don? Do you think you missed
Well, I take my boys to work with me all the time and stuff. It's just that she wasn't quite old enough yet. It wasn't quite safe enough for her yet to, in a couple more years, I would have probably been teaching her how to spot nails, but she just wasn't. I've had her out on a few jobs with Mom, but they'd always leave, but they can spot nails, like that airplane ride. I don't know if y'all seen that. We done the drywall in that airplane hangar, and that guy, he come in and asked if he could give a ride in his airplane. I'm like, I wouldn't let him miss it, So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
there was a rumor that the kids went to work with you that day. Somebody mentioned that the boys were at work with you that day. Is there any truth to that?
No, nobody. They weren't to work with me that day because I fired Dudley the day before. I fired him, and he was just creating a lot of problems at my job. He was driving around there and calling my boss constantly, stuff, for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but no, that one of my boys weren't with me that day. I didn't take them very often, and they really don't like to go, because it's kind of boring sitting there spotting nails all day. So, but they kind of
they want to run free.
Yeah, some of the jobs, where it's more open and stuff out in the middle of nowhere, they can just go out and play in a dirt pile. They love that. So, it just kind of depends on the job. That particular job there's a lot of houses it's a subdivision, and you got a lot of bosses and important people running around. So you can't take a kid at one of them places. It's not, you know what I'm saying? But some of them jobs you could take them to, and they could really enjoy the property and whatever the people were doing with their, you know what I mean? It's just some of the places are really nice, like that airplane hangar. He got to see that, so that was really good. The airplanes and everything.
Yeah, that does sound pretty cool, actually.
The dogs, were your dogs home June 15th, or you said they were gone for a few days about the time Summer had gone missing? Were all of the dogs around? Were some of the dogs around?
And how many dogs did you have then?
Yep.
People drop off their stray dogs there all the time, and we've had a few good dogs, of higher breed that people stole from us, and so we end up with a lot of stray dogs, and so we just take care of them. That's all we can do, the best of our ability. But sometimes they just run off, and we don't see them for a couple of days. But at this particular day, they weren't up on the hill, but one or two of them come in, I think, if I remember right, eventually come in, but that was about it. So we don't know where they go or what they do, but we're not gonna.
So were they around at the time that the police had shown up then to take your guys' report for Summer missing? Were the dogs there then?
No, they weren't there, and these dogs are like, they don't know when to bark and when not to bark, and they don't know. I wish now I had some Great Danes or German Shepherds or something like that, because these dogs here are not any kind of dog you'd want to protect your kids. It wouldn't do a bit of good, you know.
Now, a lot of people are wondering, how come Grandma's not living there in the camper right now?
She went to help her sister because her sister, at least this is what we're being told, but her sister is not able to do a lot of work or whatever like that. So that's the story I'm getting told anyway.
Okay.
That's all.
So she must not be a person of interest then for the police to allow her to leave state, right?
No, I wouldn't think so. I mean, she was right there with Candus, you know. I mean, she was putting a knee brace. Candus was putting a knee brace on her when Candus come in the house. You know, she asked the boys where she was, and she said downstairs. And that's when she never seen her after that. And from that point on, she's been gone.
Okay.
I just want to clarify before we move past that, because people are going to say Illinois. I thought she was in Wisconsin.
They lived in Wisconsin, but her sister lives in Illinois somewhere, and I'm not sure what town, but yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. So do you have any more questions, honey?
Yes, I do, but the one I just forgot. Another big thing people are harping on you for is when you were asked the question, what should happen to the person who took Summer or whatever happened, if somebody has Summer, or, you know, if they abducted her or worse, you were asked what should happen to that person should they be found or what, and your response was you weren't sure if you would want to put someone in prison because you know that life. And I understand your response because we talk, so you know my past and everything, so I understood your response. But also, it's in your church teachings because God always said you forgive, right? So is that kind of why you think you would be a little more forgiving? Is it because of that's your religion, your beliefs, that's what you feel in your heart? Or can you kind of just clarify that a little bit for people who are freaking out about that?
Yeah, you know, of course, the first thing that comes to your mind, if somebody hurts my kid or your kid or anybody's kid, is I'm going to hurt them. That's the first thing that's going to run through any person's mind. But if you allow the system to put them in prison, there's no worse place. Death is better than prison. Okay, you have to be in prison or have been there to understand that death is better than prison. So prison's way worse. And not only that, once you get in prison, them guys in there are going to be like, you know what, that could have been my kid. And they're going to act accordingly. And a lot of people don't understand that. And that's why I hesitated when I answered that question. And Mr. Chris probably wouldn't. That's probably way beyond him, I guess. I don't know to understand that type of thing. But yeah, prison's the worst thing that any person or human being could go through. So that's, you know, so, but if the man asked God for forgiveness and changed his ways, you know, who am I to not grant him forgiveness? I mean, I don't know. I mean, God says there's hope for all of us. So, I mean, I don't know that I could forgive him, but I know that God says we have to forgive everybody, and we have to work on that. But it might take me the rest of my life, you know. So yeah, thank you.
Wasn't who was that one that was it Jory?
Yeah.
That guy, yeah, a guy killed his girlfriend's child.
Yep. And her.
And then bailed. He ran away, and he was in hiding for like a year. But her mom, she said that she forgives him.
Yep.
Or that she's at least working towards it. So for anybody to think that that's just an outrageous possibility and that means that you're guilty of something, I don't get it. I don't understand. But no, that's when people truly believe in God, and not the way that you do for show, when you actually literally believe in God and you want to follow his rules, forgiving people for whatever they do if they ask for forgiveness. That's an important part of almost all religions. So yeah, I totally get that, because I believe in God myself. So
Awesome. Well, that's great. That's great. That's what
I wanted to ask you, Don, sorry. Were you aware when you called Chris for that recording, that, you know, that famous recording the other day, were you aware he was recording you and going to put that on his channel?
Oh, you mean the phone call? No, we didn't really, he never asked me, but I assumed he was, because I'm not that naive. I'm pretty naive though, but I wasn't that naive to think that he wasn't recording it.
But he didn't ask you permission.
He never asked me permission.
How about Jay for Justice? Were you aware she was going to do all of that and release that stuff and do that?
No, I wasn't. No, she never asked me or asked for permission or anything. No.
Wow.
yeah, that's really underhanded.
Tracy, I don't know if you could hear at all, but yeah, he said Chris never asked permission. He already assumed he was being recorded for that call, but he was not asked if he could put that on his channel or even record his call. But Donald had assumed he was doing so, but it was not asked or given permission. Same with Jay for Justice.
You didn't know you were being recorded with Jay?
No, I thought it was just a regular conversation, but she never asked on that one. So because of that, I assumed that Chris was probably recording my call also, but I never asked. He never asked me, and
Don, you know that we are recording this right now and that we're going to put it on both of mine and Tracy's channels, and we told you this ahead of time, right? And we asked your permission, right?
Absolutely, and I thank you very much for trying to help me clear this up. Thank you.
I thank you for doing it again when you've been just bombarded with hate. So we're shocked that you did it, and we wish we could help a lot more than just giving you your voice. But I think we did really good for this sit down. But before we end it, without dogging Chris, is there anything that you want to address that you feel we didn't take care of that you wanted to tonight about what was said? Is there anything you really want to say? Uh-oh, we lost sound again.
Oh no.
I can't believe that they didn't tell him they were recording him. I'm shocked.
That threw me.
I'm really shocked. I didn't hear any of that. So when you said it like a back, I said, wait, what? Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. He had said that to me like yesterday or the day before, that, I didn't know that he was recording me. I just called him because he left me a message to call him back.
Well, I caught that he called Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, he called him, so he wasn't ducking the guy. Did he even know that was recorded? Ugh, that's very deceptive. I don't know.
That's disgusting.
I don't like it when people are underhanded like that.
Mm-mm.
It's bad enough what he did, but that's just way too much.
Yeah, that's our job. Isn't to add to it. Our job is to try to help if we can in a responsible way. And are we helping? I don't know.
Well, we're at least not manipulating really what he wants to say.
Right.
So,
Yeah, we're letting him say whatever he wants.
And I think if it was me watching, I think I think he's genuine and sincere. I don't know, but I mean.
So far. mean, you can see the emotion; it's there, you know. But this is just got to be a nightmare. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure we're gonna get attacked, but oh well, we're gonna get attacked. Anyway.
Yeah, you're getting hate no matter what you do. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
God, even I get hate. I'm not picking at anybody
I'm
or
just
doing
hoping
anything.
that, it's been darn near 2 months and the police are saying there's no person of interest. They let Grandma leave state. I mean, they would have to know and look into everything that we can think of into Don and Candus. They must have done that. Do you remember when I texted you when I heard Candus was letting him in your house? Do you remember? I said, "What are you doing?" And do you remember what you said to me?
When Candus was letting who in the house?
Chris.
Oh, yeah. What I said to you? No, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
I said to you, "What the heck are you doing letting this man in your house with no lawyers present or anything?" And you said to me, "I have nothing to hide."
Right. That's right. Yeah, that's true. I remember that.
So,
Yeah, I thought I didn't have nothing to hide, but with him, you better not let him in your house. That's all. He's not your friend.
no.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not. Especially if he's doing that and not even clearing it with you before. That's just sneaky and underhanded, unethical. It's not cool.
Unprofessional, all of the above. Tracy, do you have anything to end this interview with?
There's not enough time in the world to really interview Don. There really isn't enough time, and he's got to get back to his family, to Candus.
Please thank Candus, by the way, for all of us for
being okay with this for a little while.
And
don't want to.
You're muted.
Hey, can I say one more thing?
Yep.
Trish had mentioned that I tried selling my kids when I was younger, when I was living in Utah, and I just want to flat out deny that. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Who in the world can you sell kids to anyway? That is just unbelievable.
Just because you've been on the news and people see dollar signs and stuff, have they always kind of done this to you, or are they really like it's extra now because everybody is seeing, cameras and a few dollar signs, or what? I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, it's been this way ever since I was a little kid. They've turned everybody against me. They've hated me for all these years. They've always hated me. They've turned my dad against me in every way. And all the while, he's co-signing for them new homes, new cars, whatever they want. But they want me out of the way. And another thing, my dad said he was going to leave his house to me when him and his wife died, and I was going to sell my house and pay it off. And since summer, and my dad said that after summer got gone, this is when they started all this. They don't want me around. They don't want me in the picture, and that's fine. They can fight over whatever's left, because I don't want to. They can have it.
The poor guy's just going nuts trying to get his own work.
And Candus is calling him. He's probably like, "What?"
He's probably trying to get on the fucking thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do this in case Don doesn't come back. He's been having some connection issues. So we want to thank you very much to Don for coming on, and thank you very much to Chasing Truth for joining us.
Absolutely.
And hopefully everybody watching learned something and comes out of here with a little less hate and a little more understanding.
If we can keep open minds about it, he is more than comfortable and willing to sit down, so we can ask him questions, but not if he's being beat up about it. We have no problem sitting down, and as you guys can tell, he's no problem sitting down. So if we want answers and we want to learn the truth, we can't be bashing the poor man. Just let him sit here and talk, and you see he's open to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I didn't ask many questions. He just wants to talk.
He might be trying to pop up.
Yeah, but that was the hope, is we just say, okay, here's a question, go. And as long as he wanted to talk, we just let him do his thing.
And there was certain things that we had already known, because I know he's been in contact with PIs and with attorneys. I did help him out with some information with an attorney, so there's certain things that weren't talked about on purpose.
Of course, yeah. And there's certain stuff that he shouldn't be talking about, of course. He just shouldn't be. This family.
Yeah, they've been through hell.
Too much.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, babe? You want to...
Yeah, I think we'll just end it. I know that would thank everybody for at least being open to listening again. I don't know. I've really enjoyed getting to know both Candus and him. I think that they are very kind people. So, I mean, he knows my rough past with my dad, and he even wanted to talk to my dad to see if he could have my dad try and find God so that our relationship would be better. You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I don't know.
I don't know him at all. I'm just hearing what you guys are saying. My feeling has just always been that it was an abduction, and he doesn't know. You know, if anything else happened at the house, I don't even think Don knows. I think he's just telling what he knows, and that's it. I mean, I really didn't ask a lot. Hey, Chasing Truth was here for moral support or something. I don't know. I have no idea at this point. I guess I'll watch the final cut and be like, girl, you didn't even ask anything. Why are you putting this up? But I didn't want to interrupt him. And I knew you had those questions, and we had limited time and tech issues. So I'm like, I'm just going to let them do what they need to do, and I'll just sit here and wait. You know, I have like 1,000 questions for this man, but I was not going to do that to him.
I think he'll answer them, if we just give him the time and the room to speak again.
Yeah, this wasn't a one and done thing. We can obviously have him on again.
Yeah, he is open. He just wants to explain.
Can you do me one favor, though, before we sign off? Can you just give us a
what?
A little shush. You know my.
Why?
There we go.
Do I do that?
That's my thing.
That's her thing.
And usually I have everyone send me a thumbnail when they're a guest of doing that. So I just had to see you do it. I'm a nerd.
Oh wait, yeah. Just let me solo you. Okay, now.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect.
Thank you. All right, I'll talk to you.
Gracie,
we'll
what am I
send
doing?
to you.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too. All right. Do a quick little outro. Do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it?
Both of us. I don't know.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully you learned a little bit, and like I said, come out with a little bit less hate. And yeah, we just wanted to let Don say his thing. We didn't want to steer the conversation anywhere. So that's why probably we're thinking, why didn't you ask this? Why didn't you ask that? Well, we'll probably do this more too. We'll talk to them more. I'm planning on doing something with Don and Candus on my channel, so hopefully that'll pan out. But it'll be a different thing again. But
all about Summer.
Yeah, all about Summer, not
Summer.
about the day she went missing. Like all about her as a girl and them as parents.
Yeah. So I took the bullet points of what people kept asking, what I saw going around, and that's the questions we focused on for now. We've been talking to him for over an hour with some phone issues. So again, we thank Don for his time. And Candus, thanks for sharing your husband for the evening. And I know it's been hard, but thank you for trusting us to try and do a proper interview.
Yeah, because nobody's doing that. But all right, that's it. This is long enough. So thank you all for sticking around and hanging. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Ta-ta for now.
Bye.